everyone, welcome to the Flurist Programmer, where code and music meet creativity. And today, I'm going to show you how can you build a QR code generator. So if you want to promote your business, your website, or something else, this is the right application that you need to know how to code. Let's go. If you like the video and you want to see more tutorials like this, don't forget that you can help me by hitting the like button, subscribe, and share with your family and friends. It will be a huge help for the channel, The Flurist Programmer. Also, if you have any questions, don't forget that you can make a post on the comment section and I will be more than happy to assist you. Before we dive into the coding session, I'm going to show you a live demo how the app looks like, so in this way you know what you are going to be building with me. Let's go to the monitor. The app that we are going to be building today is a QR code generator, and as you see here, the app is pretty simple. We just have a heading here, we have a text input, and then we have a button that says generate. So in the text input, we can place a text or a URL. For the example of this video, I'm going to put the URL of my YouTube channel, and then I click on generate, and this will be generating the QR code related to my link. So if you want to scan this QR code, this will be redirecting you to my YouTube channel. So, and if I want by some reason to have the image, I can just click on the download button that you have available once you generate the QR code, and this will be opening a new tab where you would see also the same image, but now you can just make a right click and say image as, and it will be saving the image as a PNG. So stay tuned to the end of the video because we are about to proceed to the coding session. Let's start by creating the folder where we are going to be working on our project of today. The name that I put for the folder is QR code generator, as you can see here. Once we have the folder ready, we can just open the code editor of our choice as well as our browser. As you see here, I already have it open. So we have here the QR code generator, and we have the browser in this case that is Google Chrome. So first, I'm going to create the three necessary files that we need. First one is index.html. The second one, styles.css. And the third one is going to be script.js. Good. Let's go to the index.html here. Now let's generate the doc type in this case. So let's type the exclamation mark and then just tap on the emmet abbreviation. Good. Let me just expand this to have more space. Great. And now let's make a right click and then click on the option of open with live server to have the tab here next to the code editor. Nice. So now let's proceed to change the title of the page. In this case, it's going to be QR code generator. Good. And let's proceed to put the link tag to reference our styles file that we have on the root location. So link CSS, and we want here styles.css. Good. Let's go now to the body. Here on the body, we are going to declare a div that is going to have the class of container. Good. Then inside of the div, we want an h2 for the heading, and here for the heading, we are going to put the same name, QR code generator. Good. I also want an input because we are going to be typing the data that we want to encrypt on the code generator. So the type is going to be text. I want an ID of QR text. I want a placeholder that says enter text or URL. Good. And I want autocomplete off. So I don't want to get suggestions of data that I have been previously typing. So I just wanted to get it off. Here after this, I want to create some space. So I'm going to place a BR here. This is for spacing. And then I want two buttons. So the first one is going to have the class of btn. And then for the event of onClick, I want to call a function that is going to be called generateQR. This is a function that we are going to be creating on the script.js. We want to have a content of generate. Good. And then I want another button here. This button is going to have also the class of BTM as well, and an ID of, in this case, download BTN, and I want an on-click event to call a function that is going to be download QR. Good. And I want for the content download. Good. And for the last, I want another div with the ID of QR code. This is the tag where we will be injecting the QR code once we get it from calling an API that doesn't need any API key. So after this, the only thing that we have left is calling the script.js. So I place the script tag, and here on the src, I'll be calling the script.js. So this conclude the HTML part. Let's proceed right now to the styles.css to give some appearance to the project. We are going to give some styles for the body. So here in the body, we want a font family to be Arial. In the case that we don't have Arial, Helvetica or sans serif. Then we want a display of flexbox. So we are going to be using display flex. Then we want a flex direction to be column. We want align items to be center, and justify content to be centered as well. So this means that, as you may know, our elements are going to be horizontally and vertically aligned to the center. Then we want a height of 100 viewport height to be on the middle of the page. Then I want a background where I will be using a linear gradient that I already have here prepared. So there you have it. Good. And then I want to use a color for the font to be white, in this case, number FFF. Good. And then I want a margin to be 0. Good. So now let's give some styles to the container class. Inside of the container, I want a text align to be center. I want a background of number 1E293B. Good. I want a padding of 24 pixels. I want a border radius of 16 pixels. I want a box shadow of 0.8 pixels, 20 pixels, and RGBA that I already have here. So I'm just going to copy and paste. So as you see, we are giving some shadow to the container. Good. And then I want a width to 320 pixels. Good. And now let's proceed to give some style for the heading. In this case, the H2. I want a margin bottom of 20 pixels. And then I want a color to be number 3A BD FA. Good. Now let's give some styles to the text input. We want to have a padding of 10 pixels. Then I want a width of 90% of the container. In this case, the container is the parent component, that is the one that has the class container. So if the container has a width of 320 pixels, it will be taking the 90% of this. So as you see, that's why it's taking that space. Then let's proceed to put a border of none. And I want to have some border radius on the corners of the input. So let's put 6 pixels. Then I want a margin bottom of 12 pixels. Good. An outline none. So this means that it won't be displaying any kind of focusing if we have the cursor inside of it. Then we want a text align to be on the center. Good. Now I'm going to give some styles to the BTN classes that we have for the buttons, BTN. And for the button, I want a background to have the same color of the heading. So let's put this. Yeah, I have here another color. Let me just use it to have some slight difference. So it will be number 3BA2 F6. It's another variation of the blue, a little bit darker. I want a color to be white. Then we want to get rid of the border, so we use border none. We want a border radius to be 6 pixels. We want a padding, top and bottom to be 10 pixels, and then left and right, we want it to be 16 pixels. We want a cursor pointer. Good. We want font weight. The font weight is going to be 600. So as you see, it will be having a strong. We want a margin to be 4 pixels between each of the buttons. And then we want a transition that is going to be for the background, because we are going to change the background color if we are hovering the button. So for the background, I want to have 0.03 seconds with is. Good. So now we want to assign style for the hover stay on the button. So we are going to change the background to be number 60A5 FA. Good. So as you see now, if I hover, this changed to a little bit blue that is lighter. Good. Then I want to give some styles for the image that it will be the QR code. We don't have it here because we will be injecting through our JavaScript. So the margin top, I want it to be 20 pixels. Then I want a background to be FFF, which is similar to white. Then I want a padding to be 10 pixels. Good. Then I want a border radius to be 8 pixels. I want a width to be 200 pixels. 200 pixels there. And I want a height too of the same. So height is going to be as well 200 pixels. And I want to assign styles for the download BTM. Download BTM to be of display none. And this means that we don't want to display the download BTM if we don't have a QR code generated previously. So once the QR code is generated, the download button will be appearing, and then we'll have the option available to download the QR code. So that's why we are hiding the download button in the first place. So this concludes the part of the styles, and now we are going to proceed to the JavaScript file. We are going to start by assigning a let variable here, length current QR, and we are going to use an empty string. And then we are going to create the function of generate QR. Good. Generate QR. We have the spelling correct. And then I want to have several const variables. So the first one is going to be QR text. And then we want to use document dot get element by ID, and we want to get the value of the text input, so the QR text, and we want to get the value of it, and we want to trim the value dot trim. So yes, so this string we use to get rid of the spaces, the white spaces. Const, we want another one that is going to be QR code div, which is the container where we'll be injecting the QR code. Then document dot get element by ID, and I want to get the ID of QR code. So let's put here QR code. Good. And then I want to get the download BTN that is hidden by default. So download BTN is going to be document.getElementById, and I want to have the ID of download BTN. Good. So now if the user by some reason submits the generate button, we have any text on the input, we want to trigger an alert. So if the QR text is not available, then I want to generate something. Here I'm going to be using the alert helper to be popping a model. And then here I want to put the message, please enter some text or a URL. Good. And then I want to return because I don't want it to be running the next lines that I have here. If there is text that we want for the text generator, then we are about to do this logic. So on the cons, let's create here a URL, currentQR URL. I'm going to use backtips because we are going to use some string interpolation. So I have the URL here. I'm just going to copy and paste. So in this way, I don't make a mistake, and I'm going to explain you what is this about. So I'm just copying the URL here and pasting here. And what we have here is a URL where we will be calling a third-party API that doesn't need any API keys to be working. So that's very quick. Then we are passing here the QR text, and we are using a helper that is called encode URI component. Basically, what this does is the string value makes a conversion that is compatible with the URL. So in this way, we can pass the value throughout the URL, and it will be encrypting, in this case, the text or the URL that we have inside of the QR code. Once we have this, and then we are going to be making we are going to, inside of the QR code div, let's put QR code div. We are going to modify its inner HTML because we want to display the QR code. So let's put here some backtips. We are going to create an image, and this image is going to have an ID. It's going to have an ID of QR image. Good. And an src that is going to be the QR URL that we have before. So let's put here $ and then brackets to use string interpolation, and we'll be using the QR URL that we have here. And for the AL, that is for accessibility, we want to use QR codes. Good. After this, let's put currentQR. currentQR is going to be equal to the QR URL that we just generated here. Good. So now we are going to show the download button because we already generated the QR code. So download BTM is going to have an style and then a background because we want oh yeah, sorry, it will be for the display. We want for the display to be inline block. Now in this way we are going to be able to see the download button again once we generate the QR code. And I want another function that is for the download button, download QR. And this one we are going to open the QR code in a new tab automatically. Good. All we need to do here is just one line. So we do window, then open. This is a helper that we have inside of the browser to access to certain features. And then we pass the current QR code that we generated throughout the generateQR function here. So we pass the currentQR, and then I'm going to pass another parameter here that will be underscore and then blank. So this means that I want a new tab to be opening and then just showing me the QR code if the user clicks on the download button. So now let's jump to test the application after we have coded all these lines. So I'm going to place the URL of my channel, the Fluidis Programmer. Then I click on generate and good. You see, it's generating the QR code. And if I click on downloads, this will be opening the same image that we have here, but now we can just make a right click and say image as, and you can get the QR code to as a PNG image. So you can share with your family and friends and tell them that you have a QR code that you can use to reference to any text or website or something else that you want. So this is all the tutorial, guys. I hope that you have liked it, and I hope to see you in the next video.